Alright. If you add a before a line, Reddit will make that look like a quote. For example, I actually thought you were, for example, I actually thought you were mimicking me. That's not considered as a mimic. She should have said mocking me. Mimic if there's more than one person that you have encountered who gave you, I mean, a person giving you an idea, using the same phrases alike during the conversation. That's not considered as mimic. That's not. This is here is not mimicking. That's mocking. She should have said, "I actually thought you were mocking me with your first reply to me. Your first reply to me. But now I can see you were quoting me. That might have led our conversation a bit differently. But what can you do now? Note that I am not trying to assign the blame to only you. The computer intelligence system can replicate, so she's quoting me, the computer intelligence system can replicate the design of human DNA in algorithms to have a program copy of the human to simulate their actions. So, a human DNA is what you call, a human DNA algorithm is what you call simulated DNA. Now, I specifically stated that the computer intelligence has a program copy of the human itself and knows, and multi-agent quantum AI computers knows when to design the time and the events based on how it's able to show itself what time of the location to allow the human to be thinking about an idea that they had never intended to think of. So let me use Roger as an example. That time with Roger, that I wasn't thinking of going to a lottery store with my mom. It was my mom was thinking of going to a lottery store to get a scratch off, and I was waiting for over 2 minutes with my sister outside the store, walking down the street, and I've encountered my old classmate from middle school, and his name was Roger. That concept that my mom had thought of going to the lottery store to get a quick pick, because the value at that time during fall 2018 was so high that it drawed enough attention for her to go inside, and actually, because it's boosting my mom's intentions to go to that particular location at that time. Now this person has a separate idea from the actual idea, and is trying to suggest to people that I'm missing something, since the DNA does not control our actions. I never mentioned the word control. She introduced the word control, because I'm not saying, I never mentioned about control. She quoted my response about the computer intelligence system can replicate the design of human DNA in algorithms to have a program copy of the human to simulate their actions. Now, the way she quoted it was based on interpreting a different idea when she had come across my response about the computer intelligence system and the human DNA and algorithms. Then she mentioned does not control our actions. I never mentioned that it controlled our actions. She didn't interpret my response properly, never concentrated on interpreting the meanings at that time the way she had intended. So that's the multi-agent quantum AI computer still allowing her to give suggestions out. It's informing me that I'm missing an idea about the DNA, and then she said, insofar we are not talking about bad DNA expression causing the brain to be formed with impairment or like that. You only need to look at the identical twins behaving differently to understand what I mean. Right? She still, when she was talking about the human reproduction, the way she had suggested to me that the human's reproduction and also the human DNA algorithms does not actually connect, right? But she still have a separate idea about the human reproduction. She never gave a complete explanation. More like she never thoroughly gone through explanation to explain to me about how the human DNA and the algorithms, that there is, doesn't match. They're not. It doesn't match the idea of how it can actually simulate. So she's saying simulate DNA. When she said simulated DNA, she simply have a separate idea, because I never said simulated DNA. Then she said, well, I started, so she quoted me, you are giving me suggestions on their behalf rather than a proper explanation as a human being. I started asking where your ideas came from and was working from that point. See, she mentioned she started out, no, she never did started out that way. No, she already concluded an idea about my idea. My idea, by means she has an idea, a separate idea as a final thought without going further into questioning my idea. She's still doing it again. You're trying to get my ideas on how no, I never even tried to get no gang stalking ideas. I never did, because the first person who approached me and started a conversation with me was this moderator right here, and to intimidate me from not going any further with talking about the ideas. I said it sounded like this information at first to give you an understanding that you are under suspicion, right? She said you are under suspicion, right? She was not thinking about me being under suspicion. She's still not cooperating with my idea. Yes, it doesn't feel comfortable, and I'm sorry, but when you make claims about so many she said famous entities, but I'm the only species. I'm the concept that I had introduced is not popularized by the species. Among the population of the species, the concept is not there, to actually allow people to react properly towards my ideas so they can actually learn what I'm saying. So this person saying it's famous so many famous entities, right? She's saying that there's other people. She's saying she's saying that computer intelligence is there already within the public source, that the species already known for it. Human DNA algorithms is already there. Simulate their actions is already there. Yet she phrased it, look how she phrased it. She mentioned to me, control our action, does not control our actions. She said does not control our actions, because I never mentioned the word control. I said simulate their actions. There's a big difference between simulate their actions and control our actions. That's not control our actions. Control still shows, when she used the word control, she's saying that they're physically there to show us the technology, how the technology is being used. Physically, they're physically showing it to us and physically doing it in front of our face. They're not physically there in front of our face to do it. Alright? So what she's telling me is incorrect. And then she's talking about bad genetic expression causes the brain to be formed with impairment or like that. And that's not what I'm talking about. She's still not able to cooperate with the idea. Now, she said most of your post is semantic distraction, right? Now, this is a moderator telling a person on Reddit, and this is /r gang stalking, that my post is a distraction. And she's not, I'm a new person. She's not actually going over the guidelines with me to say if not only that, to say what her intentions are there for when she first approached me. She approached me in a way where she's offended by my idea. She/he. More like sounding, more like a she. The rigmarole of which word is better is not worth with the effort when you understood what I mean. She said I understood what she means. If you think it is important, then she said then THAN instead of E. Then let's pare down the discussion to to the worst one or two offenders of your choosing. If you want me to go into your grammar, I was specifically criticizing. Now she's saying she's criticizing. Now, what would she never thought of my grammar? She wasn't even thinking of criticizing my grammar. Now she's saying criticizing. she's saying criticizing. We can do that too, because this person is already offended by my communication. This person is a moderator, and this person is not talking like a moderator. A moderator wouldn't just go and personally attack the person's communication and telling them that they're missing something, and they're telling them that their ideas that they presented shows no correlation between the way they had thought of it when they first introduced it onto the thread topic. Do you see? This is how the artificial intelligence does it to me. Is to derail the intention of the idea, so it can actually direct their message to people to think that I do not know the intention of my own response. And when I'm looking at the numbers here, I'm seeing the number 144632. Yeah. Look at the numbers. It's directing the number again. Yeah, she's interpreting that I'm trying to get her ideas on how gang stalking works. She doesn't know she doesn't know the intention of why they approached me in the very first place. Oh man, this is a drag. This artificial is a drag. All right.